This is the presentation of my master degree that was produced in Federal University of São Carlos. My advisor was Dr. Petronila Beatriz Gonçalves e Silva. It is about educative process of Capoeira Angola and construction of ethnic-racial belonging. I defended in 2008. So just to give an idea why I did this research is based on my own experience inside Capoeira. I found Capoeira inside the university, and I started to learn many different things that I never heard before, and this transformed my life. So I had many questions about this, what was happening with me and other people, my colleagues of Capoeira, and Petronila helped me to develop this research. The framework is based on Paulo Freire's and liberation philosophy, liberation education. So I'm looking at the educative process of Capoeira Angola as process rooted in African philosophy, but also that promotes liberation of their practitioners. Another social practice related in this research is based on university life, because all the participants were capoeiristas and had higher education. In Brazil, for you to have an idea what this means in this research, affirmative actions inside the university started since 2003. So before that, 95% at least of our public and good universities were white. So the few blacks that get inside the university need to struggle a lot to finish their studies, and I was researching about these few blacks and how capoeira played a role in their life, and especially focusing in their period through formal education process. So this is the context. I was looking for how the development of racial belonging, how they understand themselves as blacks, and because I am a psychologist, and Petronila said, you need to put this in your research. And why I need to put this, must put psychology in my research? Because psychology in Brazil is very white. Since 2000, from 2000 now, we are starting to research more about Afro-Brazilians, but before that, we almost have no productions. So we need to change this in Brazil. We must change this situation in Brazil. Good news is that we had in 2010 the first encounter of black psychologists. It was like 200 psychologists there, so it was very good. But these few works about Afro-Brazilians in Brazil helped me to understand better what is to be black in Brazil and the challenges related with the tripé. We have a tripé, ideological tripé. It is racial, it is the myth of the racial democracy, the color prejudice, and also the branqueamento, bleaching, and it's not whitening. So these three ideological conditions makes our racism very difficult to overcome, because we are taught to think that in Brazil we don't have racism, but we act like racists. So this is a very psychological, mental problem. So Petronilla showed me black psychology, some reference that helped me to understand better the development of racial identity and ethnic-racial belonging. Also, she presented me African psychology, and I fell in love about African psychology because when I was reading African psychology, it was the same thing that I live in Capoeira Angola. They had concepts, philosophical concepts, how they describe what is African psychology. It is what we live in Capoeira. So it is like same thing, but it's in written and concept works. We live, we feel. Sometimes we don't know how to explain, but our African psychology was really a translation about related with this. So, and I'm doing my doctoral degree right now, looking for more African psychology to relate with Capoeira. My PhD. So this work, the objective was to understand how is to be black in a Brazilian society, how participants develop their ethnic-racial belonging, and verify teachings and learnings of Capoeira Angola, which contributes to the construction of ethnic-racial belonging, and to overcome the difficulties to being a professional worker in a hostile environment as university, because these few blacks that went to the university, they are working in the society, but they are working in places that are also, the majority of people are white, so it's always a struggle. Always. Research question: how and which circumstance educative process of Capoeira Angola contributes to the construction of ethnic racial belonging in black professionals with higher education? Methodology. I was inspired by phenomenology, and the participants were Angoleiros. Angoleiros are those people who practice Capoeira Angola. And I had two different procedures. I visited their works and had in-depth conversation with two black men, but I also did a circle of conversation with two masters that didn't go to university but taught at the university, taught capoeira at the university, and three contramestres that went to the university. So they could give different perspectives from like a collective understanding what is, how is the relation of capoeira and the university, and how capoeira helped them to develop their racial belonging. Was interesting methodology in this sense.